What's up, guys? Adam or Amphy here, making a video on an activity that you should be farming right now in Destiny 2. This activity has been in Destiny since Forsaken, but due to a recent update, it makes farming Dreaming City weapons a breeze. It is a blind well, but not just that, tier 1 blind wells. Due to the recent update to blind well, each completion, regardless of what tier you are doing, will drop a Dreaming City weapon. Whether you are farming that GODROLL Retold tail or that Vouchsafe for GMs next season, this is something you can do on your own or with some friends. Later in the video, I will be going over my suggested roles to go for. To start out, you will want to visit Petravenge, who will have 3 different locations which rotate weekly. Once you find Petra, you will want to acquire her tier 1 Charge of Lights. These will only cost 5 dark fragments, which can be acquired through Petra's bounties or just by opening chests randomly scattered in the Dreaming City. After you have acquired the tier 1 Charge of Lights, fast travel back to Devilling Mist and drive to the Blind Well. Once the activity has started, there will be a safe zone that gives you the buff Touch of the Sky. If you go out of that safe zone, your health will slowly decrease until you are back within the safe zones. After the initial center zone, there will be 4 wells with their designated safe zones. After the waves have been cleared, there will be a boss phase in which you will need a harmony buff that drops from killing the anathema. This will give you increased ability regen as well as help you take down the shields protecting bosses and servants of the plague that appear earlier on in the 4 well waves. So now that I've gone over the way for you to acquire the Charge of Light and where to go for the Blind Well, we're going to go over the weapon rolls that you can acquire from the Blind Well and the Dreaming City weapons as a whole. So the Waking Vigil, the 140 RPM hand cannon, I would suggest going for fast draw, ricochet rounds, slide shot, opening shots. Now for this roll, I've actually had this pre-opulence days back when Menagerie was a thing. I loved this roll, had about 1,200 kills on it. But with the buff to Waking Vigil and some of the 140s, this thing's going to be pretty insane. Definitely worth going to farm if you can. But yeah, moving on. Next up, we have the Retold Tail, which is a precision frame shotgun. And the perks I would suggest for it are Full Choke, Assault Mag, or Accurized Rounds, Quick Draw, and either Snapshot or Vorpal with a Handling Masterwork or a Range Masterwork. This next one is a bit of a sleeper. It's the Tigerspite. It's a 450 RPM auto rifle. With a really good selection of perks. If I had to choose, I would go for like a stability masterwork with either like small bore or fluted, and then this one I'm gonna go with appended mag and overflow frenzy. I've still been trying to chase this roll for who knows how long. I mean, subsistence frenzy is really good still. or like subsistence demo. There's just a lot of really good perks on this weapon, and like I said, I think it's a major like sleeper pick for auto rifles, and it just sounds really cool too. Just the look of it as well looks really, really good. Next up is Abide the Return. It's a adaptive frame solar sword, and it's pretty standard on the roll you would typically want to go for with Jagged Edge, Swordmaster's Guard, Relentless Strikes, and Whirlwind Blade. I think we might see a little bit more of a surge in the adaptive frames because of some of the nerfs to like Falling Guillotine and other things. So definitely keep an eye out for this roll. For the next weapon, we have the Vouchsafe, which is a Void Scout Rifle. This weapon in particular is going to be very good in GMs next season, especially with the anti-barrier Scout coming into the artifact. So typically I would go for like Fluted Barrel, Appended Mag, and then for these last two columns, there's a good amount of perks that will work. Like Rapid Hit, Explosive Payload is pretty common. This would be more so for like overload stunning. I believe next season, either like 4th times a charm explosive payload or like 4th times a charm Vorpal would be really good options for PvE. For PvP, I haven't really used this much in PvP. I'm not really a scout rifle guy, so those are kind of my picks for PvE anyways. So this next weapon, the Twilight Oath, it's a 140 solar sniper rifle, typically used more so in PvP, but I could see some roles being somewhat useful in PvE. But the role that I would go for PvP is handling masterwork, like Fluted Barrel, accurized rounds, and then like Surplus, Snapshot, or like Killing Wind Snapshot, one of those two. So like I said, this doesn't really have a ton of PvE options, but it could still be viable in PvE, potentially for like burst damage, trying to get a bunch of shots in with it not doing as much damage. But there are some pretty nice rolls. I would suggest like Fluted Barrel, Appended or Extended, Lead from Gold, Vorpal. And also something to note is that Blind Well will actually drop Vorpal perks now. I've actually got the Lead from Gold Vorpal roll on the Twilight Oath. So it could be good in the future, but we will have to see. So yeah. Last but not least, we have the Sleepless rocket launcher, which is a arc rocket launcher. And the role that I would say is like a Velocity Masterwork with hard launch, impact casing, auto loading, and Vorpal or like demo. And this is going to be really good to use when like swapping, shooting your rocket launcher, then swapping to like a sniper while it reloads for you, to do way more damage than normal. Hopefully after watching this video, you will head on over to the Blind Well and farm some of those weapons. I would love to know, have you been chasing any Dreaming City weapons for a while? And if so, which ones? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you to everyone who took time out of their day to watch this. If you would like to help this video gain more exposure, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have the best day today. So long. Bye-bye.